Hello and welcome to yet another episode from Maza Bitcoin. Today, the Bitcoin price is at a fictitious number, as it's always been. Why? Fictitious means fake, just so you know, if anyone's not sure. I'm at a fake number. Bitcoin's at a fake number. If you understand the world's economy, you're looking at a macro view, then Bitcoin's of course worth millions of dollars now and yesterday and 4 or 5 years ago, around that time. That's when that run up in 2017, if it were natural, it would have just kept going, but they opened a bank. They opened the pesky Irish Catholics opened a bank in which they could short Bitcoin. So they ran the price up to 20K. Okay. So check it out. I spent a lot of time thinking about banks and institutions and personal finance, so I'll give it to you straight. Of course, I've said in many videos, if you leave your money in the regular retail banking system, then you could lose it because it's not legally yours, right? That's why they ask you a lot of questions when you go to a bank and try to extract money to buy a used car or to buy like 100 Todds to go to your house with oil, and you need some extra spending dollars. That's why they ask you what you need your own money for. So this is what they'll do, in my opinion. I don't think they'll steal everyone's money when the banking system collapses. I think the banking system has already collapsed. And what we're living through now is we're waiting for the economic ramifications to catch up to us here in 2020, okay? So what they're going to do is turn your money into a new centralized cryptocurrency. Yeah, everyone wants to be Bitcoin, so your dollars or your pounds or your NT or your yen or your renminbi, doesn't matter what kind of currency it is, they will offer you a government coin, centralized. Now, let's say you have 2,000 US dollars in your bank account. My guess is, knowing the history of those pesky Irish Catholics, is that what they'll do is they won't steal your money, but they'll give it back to you with conditions. And what might be the conditions, in my opinion? Just a guess. I would call it an educated guess, which is a hypothesis, but instead we'll just call it a guess. Is that because they own the banks, right? And they own your money, then they'll say, we'll give you your new centralized Fed dollar, sure, but you got to get a vaccine. Yeah, we'll give you this new centralized money. You can have your money and you can shop with it and buy food still. But if you don't obey the 5-kilometer rule in your travel bubble from your home, like in Australia, or you don't practice social distancing and you don't adorn a mask. How many times have you been caught without a mask, without wearing a mask? But the biggest thing is get your vaccine, man. They want to stick that fucking needle in your arm. You want to live, you want to travel, get a vaccine. You want your money that you have in the bank right now, after they turned it into the Fed dollar and a centralized cryptocurrency with their name on it, get your vaccine. So yeah, that's my guess, is they'll take your money and they'll hold it for you and they'll give it to you as long as you can show them that you've earned it like a good little slave. This kind of stuff that I research, you know, I make these videos and I make these opinions on camera. A lot of times my best stuff, you know, YouTube sees it and they just pull it down. They just rip it down. They go, no thank you, we don't like Mother Bitcoin because he's teaching people how to buy Link, he's teaching people how to buy cryptocurrencies. One thing for sure is if you've never bought cryptocurrencies before, if I was to do it all over again, I would never join an exchange. I would find somebody who has some cryptocurrencies, and for that you go to localbitcoins.com, which I've mentioned before. Happy people here still, unlike Ameridebt. And why should they be happy in Ameridebt? Because they're in jail. Just so you know, social distancing, shelter in place, lockdown, these are all prison terms. It's prison vernacular. They took that straight from prison. It's a joke. You know, they're put you in prison in your own place. You think they're fucking kidding, they're not. look what's happened. You know, if you watch earlier my Mother Bitcoin videos before the lockdown ever took place, you'll see me warning essentially of what's happened. I wasn't saying that it was from a virus, of course, but I said something much bigger than 9/11 will happen. My best mate, he was saying the same thing. How are they supersized? He would put it. He was exactly right. You know, once you could do 9/11 and get away with it, see me just uttering those words, 9/11, could get my video pulled down. Today was the anniversary of 9/11. There was no mention of it. I looked around the news. There was one story in Algiers. Dude, what a joke. And they were bought up by the pesky Irish Catholics. Read this big story about how all white people are racist, especially white men. We're all racist. Whoa. That includes you, mister. Do the world a favor and take your own life, you fucking scumbag. Yeah, do it for the children. So here we are, and I think I'm going to put a link below where it's C. Edward Griffin from 1969 explaining what Bolshevism is and how they use communism essentially to take down societies, and it's happened in the past, and bring races against one another, and it's just the same playbook. You know, I feel bad for people because I know there are a lot of people who aren't happy, who are suffering, and I hope they're not feeling too bad. I'm coming out here to the park. I kick this thing around. Meine Fußbag. It's the size of like one of Todd's balls. Yeah, it fits comfortably in the palm of my hand. Man wants more. Man wants more. Man. That's for you, Timmy, baby. Even though you left me alone. Life is just so weird. I'll warn everyone, if you're anything like me, everyone you once knew, and that the way you thought things might turn out, you hope they'd turn out with your family and stuff, they won't. All right, I'll turn it around. No. They won't. People will hate you, especially if you're honest and you speak your mind. Fucking hate you. Find reasons to fuck you up. Yeah, you know who you are. Shipwreck. Anywho, yeah, take your money out of the bank, put it in Bitcoin. That's the risk off asset. You just sitting in Bitcoin. That's the safest place you can be. Risk on is leaving your money in Wells Fargo or Bank of America. I would say maybe Charles Schwab's a little bit safer, but I'm not sure. That's an investment bank. So get ready for them to say, hey, you want your money? Customer from Wells Fargo, you want your money? Did you get your vaccine? It's going to be something like that. That's what I figure. And we'll give it to you in the form of the new government FedCoin, right? They govern everything you do. Of course, they'll watch and they'll tax and they'll fucking know exactly what you're up to. There's no avoiding that. That's part of the centralized deal. And so you want to invest in something that's decentralized. So as I began saying, if you'd like to buy some cryptocurrencies and you've never opened up an exchange in your name, go to localbitcoins.com, find someone who wants to sell Bitcoin. You'll probably pay a good percentage more, or 5 or 10, I don't know, percentage more than the exchanges are offering it. Why? Well, because you don't have to do KYC. You don't have to tell anyone who you are. So find a person like me, you know, who would once in a while needs to sell some, and get a wallet in your phone and just have them, you meet them, cafe in front of wherever you'd like, in front of a police station, and you bring your $1,000 or whatever you want to buy, the amount, talk to the guy online, to the girl, and you guys come to a price at the time that you meet. And that's in localbitcoins.com. Someone told me you have to do KYC, know your customer, on localbitcoins.com. I haven't verified that yet. I best yet, you know, you just find a person that has BTC that's all invested in it. Sometimes he or she may need some, you know, one of those paper dollars, those old COVID dollars, and then just trade them. I did that with a woman recently from the Czech Republic. It worked out perfectly. So we can all do that. Because, you know, don't you feel a little bit like a rat on a wheel or a mouse when you go to an ATM and you type in your secret code? and it shits out like these pieces of paper. I'm really doing it. Yeah, there's no one that's controlling you. No, you're a winner. You're nobody's fool.